guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
I need to on this AC so that you guys can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. Is that what you want?
Wonderful.
Well,
Wonderful.
she's riding on nostalgic moments.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia matches.
Nostalgia can be 1 year, 1 season ago now, last season or last year.
Defending champions.
So what's your definition of nostalgia?
Like, you mean you're riding on the fact that, okay, maybe last 5 to 6, 7 years you've been, okay, doing well in one place or the other.
And I'm just reminding you, just last season, it was a fantastic season. So there's no nostalgia here. And come next season, it will even be better.
2.0 did not do
until
well.
There's a new champion.
Exactly. So what?
No. So are you going to be saying?
See, this is the reason why a lot of people don't want us now to be successful. They are too mouthy and they don't have anything to show for it.
You're banking on what happened last season.
I'm not even banking on it. I'm only just telling them I'm good.
They are going to dethrone you, and of course you have nothing to brag about. Don't show me this. You say 15, of course. But I get them before no be property.
It's no matter of I get them before no be property. It's there. They will still do it again. It just reminded you of something, right? They are defending champions. Until a new Premier League champion is crowned. City are still champions.
True.
Until a new Champions League winner is crowned.
Yes.
Then Real Madrid are still defending champions of the Champions League. So relax.
In a month.
Relax. You have no even right to even open your mouth to be able to brag about anything to serial winners. Because I can't remember when last Arsenal won anything tangible.
When it comes to head-to-head, you know you are not.
You know you are yet to win anything. Do you know that you are yet to? They don't win trophies for head-to-head, do they?
No.
Nobody remembers who won the head-to-head.
So you ask any Real Madrid.
Bro, let me ask you a question.
Anytime
this head-to-head now, this head-to-head now, and this victory you've had now, what have you won?
I haven't won anything.
Exactly. So why you?
I'm on the journey.
You should be more worried that if you don't win anything outside all of this fanfare.
No, what is football to you?
Fire will burn you.
Fire cannot.
Fire will burn your buttocks because if you fail to win anything, despite all of this,
the Premier League is out of it.
I know the funny thing is you're not even going to win anything. Because the Premier League you cannot win.
Of course
FA Cup, Carling Cup, you're out.
Okay.
Champions League, you will not win it.
No,
do you want to have that bet with me?
That is what they call Ote.
Oh yeah.
Champions League, you will not win it. Simple.
No.
Can we get the show on?
The show is on.
Oh, okay.
To be
now,
honest,
if you're not joining and you don't understand why the studio is hot, it's Remontada versus what's the nickname now?
Remontada.
Remontada versus Ramota. Just because Arsenal, you see something quite interesting about this thing. Let's just say that majority of people didn't give Arsenal a chance when it was announced.
The fixture was announced.
When the fixture was announced, and when they finished the quarterfinal, their last 16 into the quarterfinal, many people didn't give them Arsenal a chance, and then they went into the game. Beautiful first leg, but the issue came that 1 week. See, let me tell you the fact. It was when I saw Real Madrid's antics on social media, it was cringeworthy for me. This is why. You see, I tell people something that there's a blessing in being underestimated. Because when you're underestimated in strategy, and let me tell you, football is strategy. The greatest power in strategy is the element of surprise. Why do you see that there are times there are open training sessions and get to a particular point? It might be a player. They might tell that player is injured, is not going to play. There is something, you're always trying to spring up something. And you see, first of all, this is where Madrid got it wrong. Everything you are going to do, you laid it out. You are going to bring horses. You're going to bring flares.
Let me finish. Why are you guys acting like you're new to Spanish football? That means that you're obvious that you're yes, you know why I said that. Listen to me. Because I don't want you to go for that because this is going to be wrong for you to state things like that. They are doing this because of Arsenal or this is the first time it's been done. Every Champions League game, especially knockout football, big games, you see Real Madrid, the boss, not even kind of honor. You see fans come out in mass, the boss is there, you have the horses and all of that. Do you know that even one of those horsemen, they're policemen actually.
Yeah, they're policemen.
One of those horsemen was Carvajal's father, and we saw that last season, and people didn't even know.
You didn't allow me land. See, this is what I'm saying.
Well, you're making it sound like, all of this is especially for Arsenal.
Let me land.
Well, I'm not going to be able to see that point.
Unfortunately, it started from Bellingham says, by the time we left the Emirates, on my way to the bus, I already saw us come back. Do you know how long 90 minutes is in the Bernabeu?
It's a slogan.
Let me come. Then they go further.
Okay.
They say, in the dressing room, the whole
The only word.
The most used word in
Yes.
is Remontada.
Yes.
Remontada trended for 1 week, 1 day.
Yes.
Every single
and what's
day.
wrong with that?
My point is that, look, you have the aura, or you think you have the aura, but you don't have the work ethic.
To back it, like to back it up.
And you see, that's the thing. It's the same thing with affirmation. There's nothing wrong with it, actually. It's the same thing when a lot of religions, when they say they want to affirm, when they say the power of the spoken word. Compared to the power of action, the power of spoken word is negligible.
You know, you back your word.
It's almost, in fact, the power of the spoken word without action is utter rubbish.
Yeah.
And that is what I meant. So you see, they had, I remember when, if it was a Cristiano Ronaldo, and you asked him a question after that, they said they will come to the Bernabeu or something. What's it? In fact, I saw some flashbacks, and we'll respond the Madrid way. And that's just it. And then they go and walk. And the mouth will come after they win. But you see these boys, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr.
Everybody, see you
Mbappe.
on Wednesday.
You know, I'm telling you that
So there's something wrong with saying see you on Wednesday.
Yes, I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying
no,
that.
this is,
I'm saying that. Look,
you cannot,
they spoke,
you cannot,
but they didn't have the action to back it up.
Yes, you can say that they spoke, they didn't have the action to back it up. But saying it's cringe-worthy,
yeah, it is.
They're not going to be the first.
They overdid it.
No, that's right.
They overdid it.
No.
They overdid it.
Wait,
how many cinema videos they did?
They overdid it because it didn't happen. But it's not the first time you will see teams talk about we want to make a comeback. It's not the first time, for crying out loud.
They say it.
And it's not. Why would you tag it overboard? You cannot box or contain somebody's expression. Arsenal are also allowed to express and say that they are going to qualify or win the Champions League. Why should I not say, oh, that's cringe-worthy?
No.
It doesn't make sense.
Affirming that I'm going to win the Champions League.
You cannot tell somebody what they believe in and tell them not to believe in that. It's not possible. If they believe that they can do a comeback,
they come back.
They let them do the comeback.
I know
just like the way we always talk about managers who, the manager who will brag and say, in fact, I saw when you did that tweaking mid-game, right? And then you'd be like, oh, he worked out perfectly. Or when he did that tweak mid-game and then it didn't work, you now be like, oh, he's a terrible manager. These things, if they had done the comeback, you would not say it was cringe-worthy.
So
what are we saying?
Bad penalty.
You cannot control how people express themselves.
Okay.
They've spoken. They did not do it. You are the winner. Move on.
All right, good. Now, let us take a little bit of, because look at it this way. Yes, we know Real Madrid. But the talk out there is that somehow Mbappe has made the team weaker.
Not weaker.
I don't think
okay, let's talk about that. Has Mbappe improved Madrid?
Nope.
So because this is me. For two things, I feel like in life you don't stay in one place. You're either moving forward or moving backwards.
Sure.
Right? With the current setup, with Ancelotti at the helm of the team, won the Champions League with Vinicius Jr. being the star of the team, and then you sign Mbappe, and then this season looks like it's going to shreds and nothing's happening. What would you say his impact? Let's talk about Mbappe's impact in Real Madrid. Has he improved the team? Has he made the team better? Are they on the same level? What are your thoughts? Mbappe's influence in Real Madrid.
We could have said this earlier in the season, saying, okay, things are going terrible for him. But I can assure you, somebody who has over 20 goals for Real Madrid in his first season, breaking records, he's not having a bad season. We have to look at the culprits. They call him Inspector Rajesh, you know him, Rodrigo. How brilliant has he been this season? Then we have a problem. No number 9. Courtois said something post-match on Wednesday. He said, we just spin the ball into the box, hoping for somebody to nod it. Whereas they don't have Osedo anymore. They recognize number 9. So,
by the way, that statement from Courtois, I felt it was very funny. Was he taking a shot at Ancelotti or the management?
Courtois has always been a blunt person.
Even in Belgium,
it was not wrong. It was not wrong. He was just talking about how they were spamming too many crosses.
Yeah, but I mean, you know that Jose was not there. So if you're going to spam crosses,
yeah, I understand you,
Ancelotti, because
I think he was trying to take a shot at somebody because
shot at the manager and of course the players.
The players and all of that.
I think for Courtois to say they are spamming crosses, it shows that okay, maybe their front three are not even doing well enough in terms of
he's also taking a shot on the players
because if you cannot do well in 1v1 to cut in, you shoot and probably play together as the front three, then that means you're not good enough. But for Mbappe, I think in the Spanish league himself, he has done well. Forget the fact that okay, it needs to be topping the chart and doing everything. Madrid's failure not to concede city goals.
So you think it's a defensive problem?
One of the problems they're having is the defensive errors that they have and injuries. Imagine putting Alaba, who you know cannot hold Saka.
Who just came back after what? 1 year plus.
Could not hold Martinelli. You know, he became a little much better when Valverde went to the right by a little bit. And I think one of the things that affected Madrid this season has to be Toni Kroos leaving. Nobody has replaced Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos can come from any angle, give the right pass, but nobody's giving that pinpoint passes to a finisher in the box.
Okay, Tosi, your thoughts? Because looking at it this way now, there's also that talk that, look, Bellingham's, his influence up front has been reduced because of Mbappe coming to the team. And you would see Bellingham making good runs and all that, and there was a little bit of a balance. So if you had a Diaz or somebody, they would all fall back to the pen. But now, you have 2 or 3 divas they run the least. When you look at the statistics of the whole team, they don't run as much as other front threes in other Europe. Teams. And that is why they say that there is now too much pressure on the back four. What are your thoughts on that?
So for Real Madrid this season, aside from Kylian Mbappe, if I'm going to score Kylian Mbappe's season, I'll give him a 4/10. Okay. Yes, I understand that maybe you're an Mbappe fan. That's why you really, really glossed him. But he has had a terrible season. Forget the 33 goals in 45 games, matching Cristiano record. And Ronaldo did that in 35 games, by the way. And he didn't break too many records. It's been a season where, in fact, where Real Madrid are at this season, it's like first half and second half. Okay. Or part 1 and part 2. Part 1, they had their issues yet. Yes, but the individual brilliance was able to push them, make sure they kept that close marking with Barcelona at some point. I remember they were having a good form when Ceballos was playing.
Yeah, they were talking.
Things crumbled when Ceballos got injured because Carlo Ancelotti figured out very late that I can use Ceballos to replace Toni Kroos that you just mentioned. The midfield is a chaotic midfield where you have Tchouaméni is a DM. But you still, in modern football, you still need your DM to be a ball-playing DM. A DM who can control and also, help in how the team transitions from defense to attack. And Tchouaméni is not the man for it. He's not the man for it. Now you mentioned Jude Bellingham that his forward presence has reduced. Please, for crying out loud, Jude Bellingham is not a striker. He's supposed to be a midfielder. Let him do his job as a midfielder. Yes, I hate. It disgusts me when I hear the front four, and you're including Jude Bellingham there. Okay, so why? I understand that last season, yes, he was used as a false 9 to assist
and I feel
Vini and Rodrigo.
For me, I feel like Bellingham as an 8 is perfect.
But
he does both jobs.
But that worked because they were playing a 4-4-2 formation. So if Jude Bellingham is going forward, the midfield still has 3 men. Yeah. But now this season, Bellingham leaves the midfield so open because he's bumping forward. And I understand, yes, sometimes he does that to cover for Mbappe, who doesn't like to be in the box. Okay. When the wingers are running, Vinicius has beat like 2 or 3 defenders without the help of a left back, who is always staying at the back. After beating 2 or 3 defenders, you look up, who do I want to pass to? Mbappe runs, no doubt. But he stops at the edge of the box. Every time he wants to receive the ball at the edge of the box.
I love that. I
remember when the Champions League, was it AC Milan or Lille that defeated Real Madrid?
Lille.
Yes, it was Lille. Where Henry had to point out these things. That look at Bellingham bumping forward, always in the box.
He has better runs.
Always trying to make a header or meet the ball from whether the ball is coming from Vini or Rodrigo or from the right back. Bellingham is always trying to be there because your striker is not.
Let's hold it on that. We have Paul Abiagom on Zoom. Paul, of course, is a sport enthusiast and analyst, and we're talking about the topic here. Of course, Mbappe, has he been a plus to Real Madrid, or has he taken them back? Hello, Paul. If you are there and you can hear me, let's go. Are you there, Paul? Good, he's there. Can you hear me, Paul?
Hello, man.
All right, good. Let's get straight into it.
I can hear you.
Yes, Mbappe, straight up. Mbappe, has he been a deterrent to Madrid's forward push? Is he a plus or a minus to that Madrid team since he came in?
I think the fact is, for me, Mbappe is the luxury that Real Madrid should not have afforded him this season. Everybody will tell you he's prolific. Yes, he has been prolific. He has scored 22 goals this season for that only. But my question would be this. Let's look at the stats they are now. If Real Madrid score 3 goals for every match of the remaining 7 matches, they will still end up with fewer goals than last season. So they really add up to their style. They really sharpen their attack. And obviously, the answer is no. Real Madrid just bought problems for themselves. He was a problem they didn't need right now. For me, Mbappe Real Madrid basically means a build. Okay, as someone was just tuning in now, Mbappe ran the box. Therefore, was he brought to do? You had a system that was already working. You already had roles, clearly defined roles. We already had a fantastic Bellingham last season. So when Mbappe was brought in, what was he? Was he a piece for the puzzle? It's clear that he was. This was supposed to be an Mbappe team. For me, not like Mbappe will be a flop. No. Basically, I think a rebuild is necessary. A rebuild that brings out the best of him and the rest of the team. But for right now, no.
So moving forward now, there's that talk that Carlo Ancelotti is leaving at the end of, I think it was the Copa del Rey. He might not even stay up until the end of the season. And then there's the talk of Xabi Alonso and all that. What do Real Madrid need to do to get back to being who they were? Let's not say they are. What does Real Madrid need to do with the Mbappe situation? Do they need to add more bodies? Is it a coaching thing? What do they need to do?
From the bit of both, clearly they need more bodies. Clearly they need, let's put it this way, what's that lovely quote like, you can't shoot a cannon from a canoe. You can't build a team and tell me it's an attacking team and they have no defense. As amazing as it sounds, Real Madrid is fragile. They look fragile when they defend. So it's clear they need a proper defender. Well, I like to be to all Liverpool fans, but that's probably right in the world that defend. So I don't know how that comes and is a solution to anything. And they clearly need a centre back. It's for sure. You also need something, some steel, some real steel in that middle, first of all. And then we're going to have Mbappe doesn't run into box. And is he going to play off another striker? Are you going to get a striker that actually stays box and is a target man of sorts? Or are you going to play, he's going to false now, are you going to play somebody else, maybe get somebody else in midfield so that Bellingham can play directly behind and be the man that has to those runs? Something has to change, clear. That's sure.
All right. Thank you so very much, Paul. I wish we could have more time with you, but that's all that we can take from you. Quite insightful analysis. We'll take a very short break. Don't